Jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, July 8th. There were a few things that I forgot to show last week, mainly because I was just in a hurry. I wanted to get my video done, so I'm going to show those now. While on our BFF retreat in San Antonio, I forgot to show the actual pillowcase that I made as part of our BFF retreat souvenirs. So there's my reverse of what Miss Open Jen has. And then Jennifer also brought a couple of sewing machines, one for her to use, and you've already seen what she did on hers. And she also brought one for me to use to practice free motion quilting on. And I brought some pot holders to work on, and a couple of kitty quilts, but the kitty quilts didn't quite work out. I was having some issues with the fabric I was using on the back of one of them that machine seemed to not like very much. So I'll show you the pot holders because I have those trimmed and ready to bind already. In fact, I think I already have binding picked out. So I have two that are like this. Oops, holding that up. Well, I guess there's not really upside down. And here's what that looks like on the back. You can kind of see the free motion quilting. And I think this one was actually, my second one. My second try, so it was a lot smoother on that one. And then this was the first one I did, and you can see it's way more erratic, I guess. You can really see it on the back, see the stitching. And then this was that centerpiece from one of the Great Granny Square blocks. I trimmed down, made a pot holder out of it, and that was the third one I did. And on this one, it's harder to see. You can kind of see it in this square right here, where I was doing like some loop-de-loops, little swirls. You can kind of see it on the owl block. This is the binding that I've picked out for these two squares. Is this one right here. And that's just from a jelly roll package that I have. And then I have this one picked out for, I have this fabric picked out for this guy here. I thought that would be a good one. So those are ready to bind. Got those done in San Antonio. And then the other thing I forgot to show last week was this pair of earrings that I took out of the traveling swap box, and I totally forgot about it. They're they look like turquoise, and they're silver. So there's those. And the other thing I have to show this week is I have the top done for my great niece's quilt. I was doing the Great Granny blocks, and I had about 7 or 8 done, and I was trying to decide on a layout because the blocks came out so big that I was just concerned that the top was going to end up like huge. So I stopped making blocks at that point and just started kind of trimming them up and making sure that I could get them all to the same size. I actually only managed to get, I think, 6 that I could trim down to almost exactly the same size. And the other ones were, one of them was too small and the other one was way too big. And anyway, I decided I didn't like them going that direction to where they'd just be, the Great Granny Square kind of comes out on point. Because of those little animal fabrics that I had, like this one here, in them, where they have little pictures. Let me see if I can find a better one. Or like this one here, with the owls. I had a couple of the owls. So I decided to take just 5 of the blocks that I had done, put them on point, and sash them, put them on point, and then add more white fabric to square it off. So this is my first on-point quilt. And I'll insert a photo at the end also because it's large. But anyway, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I already have backing for it, and I didn't buy it specifically for this quilt. I actually bought it a few years ago. There's a quilt store here in town called Quilts from the Heart, and they do not participate in the annual shop stroll, but the same weekend of the shop stroll, they hold a sidewalk sale. And at the very first year that I went, I bought a big roll of this fabric, and they had it in a bin for, I want to say it was like $2 a yard, or it was like either, I want to say it was $12, but it was 6 yards of fabric, so it was basically $2 a yard. And it's all these little animals flying in hot air balloons, and I just thought it'd be really great for kids' quilts. And I had just joined Project Linus at the time, so there's like a little piglet in this one, there's a teddy bear in this one, there's a kitten in this one, and they're really cute. Anyway, so I have a ton of this and I never used it. So that's what I'm going to use for the back and the binding. So and it's actually perfect for this quilt since this quilt is scrappy and this has so many colors in it. I think it'll work just fine for the backing and the binding, and that'll kind of tie the back to the front, having the binding being the same thing. And there's all the extra white on this, but I think, I mean, you can hold it up next to it, but let me do it this way. This is kind of how I decided this morning. I kind of rolled it up and just sort of held it like that. But because of all the white in the border, oops, can you see that? Because of all the white in the border, I think it'll be just fine. I mean, you're not going to get any of the pictures, obviously, in the binding, but you'll be able to tell it's the same fabric as the back. So anyway, that's done. So I just have to get that basted. I'm not sure if I have a batting for it, actually, so I need to check my supplies and see if I have enough batting for it. And then I need to get it basted and decide how I'm going to quilt it, which I have not decided yet. I don't know if I'm comfortable yet with my free motion quilting, so I may end up doing a grid of some sort, just some straight line quilting, but do it like on the diagonal since so much of this is on point. That might be fun, so I will try to figure it out. And I guess that's it. That's all. I hope everybody has a crafty week. I look forward to watching your videos. I'm all caught up. And have a crafty week. Bye!